welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean. This is UCM Pig's Motovlogs. You know, Harley Davidson, marketing genius or just plain old just missing the mark? But before we get started, let me remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always on my channel, if you don't feel like typing words, just leave me an emoji. Let me know you're here. I'd greatly appreciate that. So I've been thinking about this topic for a little while now, and unless you live under a rock, you probably have seen that this is the 120th anniversary year for Harley Davidson motorcycles. They're planning a big shindig this summer up in Milwaukee. They've released their 120th anniversary series of motorcycles, or at least have started the release, and there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. I mean, Harley Davidson made some videos, and then every motovlogger, motorcycle content creator under the face of the sun has done a video about the 120th motorcycle release. And now I'm throwing my hat in. I'm a little late to the party, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do this. We're going to talk about that in a future vlog. And really, you know, we're just going to cut right down to it. The release, in my opinion, was just as lackluster as the rest of the anniversary years. I mean, they update the paint, a new badge, you might get a couple additional horsepower, they bring in some new bikes. So that goes back to the question, and the question is, Harley Davidson, marketing genius or just missing the mark? Well, here's my thoughts on that. And it all roots back to why people buy Harley Davidsons. And I'm going to talk about myself personally, but I think I represent the average Harley Davidson owner. I've owned 3 Harley Davidsons, and I waited a lot of years to get my first Harley Davidson. I rode metrics for a long time. I could have got a Sportster early on, but I really didn't want a Sportster. And honestly, with my budget the way it was back then, you know, a $5,000 Sportster or a $1,800 Honda Shadow, I went with a Honda Shadow. But I eventually got a Sportster and then graduated up to a Road King, and then now I'm on the LMA. And I tell you what, every day I get on this bike and I flip that ignition switch and I hear that fuel pump prime and I get that initial cold start, I get giddy every time. I absolutely love riding my Harley Davidson, and that's what I'm trying to get at. A lot of people get wrapped around the axle on like Harley Davidson being behind the power curve when it comes to technology, and I don't disagree with you. I think they are. They have a long way to go, especially when you have companies like Indian producing phenomenal motorcycles. Phenomenal motorcycle. Phenomenal motorcycle. If you've hung around my channel for a while, you know that I've done some rentals of Indians for 24 hours, and I speak highly of them, and they are fantastic motorcycles. And their technology is on point. What they're doing at Indian Motorcycles, as far as, you know, just something as simple as they're going LEDs all the way around. Harley's still using incandescent bulbs. When it comes to changing your fluid, it's a one reservoir oil change, and it hits everything, where Harley, I'm still having to do a 3-hole and, you know, get 3 different weights. So just the little things like that that I think make a huge difference when it comes to the technology, not to mention the horsepower and just the little creature features that I've identified. Go back and watch some of those videos, you'll see what I'm talking about. So why do we buy these things? Why are we buying an inferior product? Is it an inferior product? You know, everyone jokes about leaky Harleys and stuff. I mean, that's your grandpa's Harley. Modern Harleys are pretty reliable machines. I think they're just as reliable as anything else out there on the road right now. But why do we keep coming back to these? And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why by answering this question. Somebody has asked me in the past, hey, you ride Indians a lot when you go on travel. Are you thinking about buying an Indian? And like I said, they're fantastic motorcycles, but there's one reason I will not buy an Indian. And that one reason is it's not a Harley Davidson. That's why I won't buy an Indian. I've always wanted a Harley, and I finally have a Harley, and I'm going to ride Harleys as long as I can. So this goes back to something when I was on recruiting duty back in the 90s. And one of the things I learned on recruiting duty in the 90s, if you don't know, I'm a 20-year veteran of the United States Navy, and I recruited out in Oklahoma, middle America, amongst warriors. And I was at Fort Sill, which is a huge Army base. But when I was out, you know, talking to applicants, and I came across an applicant, and they told me my grandpa was a Marine, my dad was a Marine, and I'm going to be a Marine. I took that young person and I introduced him to the Marine recruiter, because you're not going to change that. You're not going to do it. And that's the way I feel about Harley Davidsons. I'm going to ride Harley Davidsons because I've always wanted one. Now, let's go back to what I think this marketing genius, and let's just hone in on one thing. Let's talk about these incandescent bulbs. So you hear a lot of people moan about Harley Davidson, including myself, because I just did the LED upgrade here on the May, and they moan about Harley still putting incandescent bulbs on $50,000 motorcycles. Marketing genius are missing the mark. I'm going to go with marketing genius. You want to know why? Because people aren't buying Harley Davidsons for the turn signals. They're buying Harley Davidson for that bar and shield on the side of it. They're going to buy that motorcycle regardless of the type of turn signals that Harley Davidson puts on it. So if I can get by with putting the most inexpensive turn signal on it that meets safety standards, that's what I'm going to do. I call that marketing genius. That's why people buy these things. They buy it for the bar and shield. They buy it so they can say, I ride a Harley Davidson. They buy it so they can be a member of HOG. They buy it so they can wear a Harley t-shirt, Harley boots, Harley gloves, Harley helmet, Harley everything. That's why people buy Harley Davidsons. Do y'all see this crosswind? I'm having to lean my bike. It's really getting it. I mean, that's just my 2 cents on this whole Harley Davidson release, and are they doing things right? I think they are. I think they're doing what they need to do for their company. I think they know they have a loyal customer base that are going to come back and buy their products. Their children are going to come and buy their products because I'm going to ride a Harley because my grandpa rode a Harley, my dad rode a Harley, now I'm going to ride a Harley. And I think they know this. And that's years of marketing. That's years of doing things right. So that's my 2 cents on this whole Harley Davidson release. Are they missing the mark? Or is it marketing genius? And I think it's marketing genius. Could they improve? Absolutely. I don't think they're going to for a few years. I don't think we're going to see it for a few years. I think we're stuck with incandescent bulbs for a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed this topic. It's something I've been thinking about. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a vlog on the 120th anniversary, and I decided, you know what the heck, let me go ahead and put my 2 cents out there. I hope you guys enjoyed. So I hope you have a great end of your week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend coming up. Go down to your local Harley dealership and look at some of these new bikes. Go buy one, because you know what you're doing? You're putting a gently used bike out there in the market for people like me, because I don't buy new Harleys. I wait for y'all to go buy the 120th anniversary bikes, and I swoop in there and get your garage princess and ride the crap out of her. So until we talk again, you guys be careful. You guys be safe. Always keep your shiny side up. And we'll talk to you next time.